My name's Darren Gibbons, and like a tree, I have many roots. It all began like when I started school, started hanging around with the wrong set of people, and then I was trying to fit in with them wrong sort of people, and it just wasn't working. So I took action and started to hang around with myself, which led me into doing my own things. Like, I also used to grow up, see my mum struggle, so that got me into selling drugs. And I used to sell drugs, have many women living the wrong sort of life. And as I was selling drugs, it's like I started to get money, like started to make like a couple of grand a day. My friends came back and they wanted to fit in with me because they saw that I had money, I had cars, I had everything that a young boy wanted at the age of like 17. I used to go to countryside, like build up a drug area, have lots of phones, lots of people working for me. And while I was doing that, I wasn't happy because I used to have different women, just stress every day, stress on my shoulders, lots of stress. And at the same time, I was still attending college, so it was very hard for me. So when I was young, I also was attending a church with my mum, but I wasn't taking it serious. I wasn't putting in 100%. So there was one time where I got arrested and they took me to the cell and they found drugs. And then I remember coming out of the cell and then coming to church. I said a prayer, I promised God that I'll never go back to that. And then I tried to live life properly, started to go to university, doing an access course, and then things got tough again. So I went back into the drug business and then doing the same things, still wasn't happy, doing the same things. And then I got arrested again, which I was very ashamed of because I've said prayers to God. I used to stand in church with like drugs in my mouth, praying to God, asking God to accept me how I was, but nothing still wasn't changing. And then when I got arrested again, I was fed up. Everyone was dying around me. All my friends was just dying. All my friends up to today, on my two hands, I can't count how many friends are in jail for life. And I was just fed up, had a child on the way, and then I gave my life to God when I came out of jail. And since then, I've been very happy. No more women, I'm engaged now, and I'm attending university in a few weeks, which I couldn't be more happy in my life. And today, God has transformed me and I'm very happy in my life, and I couldn't ask for anything else.
Good evening and welcome to Finding Answers. Are you someone whose life been affected by anger? Is anger an issue to you? Have you lost something important because you made a bad decision while you were hot-headed and later on you regretted what you did? Maybe a job opportunity, a good position you had, a valuable friend, or even maybe your marriage, your family. So tonight, if anger is an issue to you, stay with us because this program will help you. This is Finding Answers. We'll be right back.
Anger is a normal, healthy emotion. But managing anger can be a problem for many people who find it difficult to keep their anger under control. Anger is an emotional state that varies in intensity from mild irritation to intense fury and rage. Health issues linked to unresolved anger include high blood pressure, heart attack, depression, anxiety, colds, flu, and problems with digestion. Uncontrolled anger can also lead to domestic violence or abuse. People use a variety of both conscious and unconscious processes to deal with their angry feelings. Three main ways are expressing, suppressing, and calming. But unexpressed anger can create problems. It can lead to pathological expressions of anger, such as passive-aggressive behaviour. In other words, getting back at people indirectly without telling them why. Or a personality that seems perpetually cynical and hostile. These traits can lead to having poor relationships. But anger doesn't have to be a problem. With help, you can control your anger. Everyone has a physical reaction to anger. Be aware of what your body is telling you and take steps to calm yourself down. Here are some tips. Recognize your anger signs. Your heart beats faster and your breath more quickly. You might also notice other signs such as tension in your shoulders or clenching your fists. If you notice these signs, get out of the situation. Count to 10. This gives you time to cool down so that you can think more clearly and overcome the impulse to lash out. Breathe slowly. Breathe out for longer than you breathe in. This will calm you down effectively and help you think more clearly. Once you are able to recognize the signs that you're getting angry, you can start looking at ways to control your anger more generally. If you feel you need help dealing with your anger, see your GP. There are also local anger management courses up and down the country that could help.
Welcome back, and we are talking about anger and the damaging effects that it has when it goes out of control. Is there a way to control it? Maybe you're watching us and this has been an issue to you and you have tried in different ways to get help. You have maybe even followed some guidance, some steps, and still it is a problem in your life. So keep watching, because we're here to show you a way out. We are here to show you that there is a way that you can overcome this issue. And even in a couple minutes, we're going to show you someone who had a history of anger, severe anger issues, and who overcame it with help. But I also have with me Victoria. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
So, Victoria, what do you have to talk to us about tonight concerning anger and its effects on people's lives?
So there are many reasons why certain people get very, very aggressive and other people don't. Now, the main reason could be, psychologists have said that it's a defense mechanism. So when people mainly feel powerless, or issues like feeling ignored, unimportant, or guilty. So what happens is they feel these more strongly than other people, and the frustration that they feel with this then leads to anger. Another explanation could be having poor role models. So a young boy who's had a very aggressive father may then also be more likely to be angry and aggressive.
Right, right. And if people are watching us right now and they want to interact with us, maybe they want to speak to us right now, maybe they are watching us and they say, hey, this is me. I need help. Maybe even tonight you are watching us and you are on the verge of doing something stupid, something radical that you will regret later, but you just can't hold back. What can they do to talk to us, to interact with us?
So if you'd like to speak to somebody, we have a team standing by next to the phones. Give us a call. The number is 020 7686 6300. Or if you'd like to send us an email, I can read that out live on air. The email address is help@findinganswers.tv. Or if you'd like to send us a tweet, then start your tweet with findanswers.tv. If you'd like to talk to us via Facebook, just search for Finding Answers and like our page.
Very good. And they can call us now, right? Talk to us on the air, should they like to do that. Or also, if they don't want to talk on the air, we have people who are qualified to help them right now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to talk on air. We have a team of people waiting by to talk to you all the way through the program.
Very good. So stay with us. We're about to show you in a couple minutes the story of someone that overcame anger with help, with the guidance, someone who had a struggle with it, right? Moses is here, right, with us tonight at the studio. Welcome, Moses. And anger was an issue to you, right?
A big issue, yes.
For about how long did you have an issue with that?
For majority of my life, to be honest. I struggled with anger. Until I came to the church, that's when I was able to overcome this.
Your story changed.
Yes.
You're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to go to a short break and be right back with Moses.
They say that home is where the heart is, a place that should be filled with joy, security, happiness, and memories. However, sometimes our own blood is the cause of most of our pain. Before you lose hope, try this. Every Thursday, come and pray for your family and receive the guidance and support that could help you all reconnect again. After all, no amount of success can compensate for a broken family.
The Bible contains the mind of God, the state of man, the way of salvation, the doom of sinners, and the happiness of believers. Its doctrines are holy, its precepts are binding, its stories are true, and its decisions are immutable. Read it to be wise, believe it to be safe, and practice it to be holy. It contains light to direct you, food to support you, and comfort to cheer you. It is the traveler's map, the pilgrim's staff, the pilot's compass, the soldier's sword, and the Christian's charter. Here, paradise is restored, heaven opened, and the gates of hell disclosed. Christ is its grand subject, our good the design, and the glory of God its end. It should fill the memory, rule the heart, and guide the feet. Read it slowly, frequently, and prayerfully. It is a mine of wealth, health to the soul, and a river of pleasure. It involves the highest responsibility, will reward the greatest labor, and will condemn all who trifle with its sacred contents. Pray it in, read it through, live it out, and pass it on.
So we are back now, and we are here to talk to Moses, right? So Moses, how did anger affect your life?
Well, anger started off, first of all, from a very young age, because I grew up as the only child, and I had this void inside of me that nothing could fill. And because of that, it was just constant rage inside of me. I would just get angry for no reason sometimes. Something small that someone would say to me or do to me would just cause me to just get angry. I'll just get angry without me knowing sometimes why I get angry. Also, that led to other issues as well in the family and stuff. I was always constantly getting into trouble and stuff at home, in school, always getting into fights just because of the anger. I would say it pretty much controlled my life for a majority of my teenagehood and that as well. It was something that I find hard for me to overcome. It's something I find hard for me to be able to control. I tried many things, like for example, there's sometimes when I'll get angry, I'll say to myself, okay, I'm going to walk away from the situation, or I'll go somewhere and just scream out and just try to let everything out. But that helped for a little while, and then after a few minutes, it's like it came back, sort of thing. So it wasn't a total solution, sort of thing, but it was just more like a temporary.
Right. So, so you're saying it didn't really have any explanation, or
No.
there was no cause. Since you can remember, this was an issue to you.
Yes.
Because of behaving this way, because of not being able to control this anger. Yeah. What other problems did this anger bring to your life?
A lot, actually. In school, it was hard for me to focus. For example, there was an incident that happened once at school where I got into a fight, and basically, at first, the argument had nothing to do with me. It was one of the boys had an argument with one of the girls, and I decided to get involved to defend the girl. And then all of a sudden just changed from being the girl and the boy's argument being me and the boy's argument. So the argument got really heated, and then he said something to me that just made me just lose it. He said something about my mum, and I didn't like what he said. So I said to him, okay, so you know how to talk a lot in class. We see each other outside during break time. So it's like, okay, cool, we'll do this at lunchtime. We went outside during lunch, and it was like, it's everything that, well, most of the time, most teenagers go through this. It's like, when you have a fight, we call it one-on-ones, no one gets involved. So it's basically you and the other guy that you're having a fight with. So we came outside, and because when you get angry, you don't think. So you just literally just rush into things. And when the fight started off, I was just so angry. I just wanted to go and grab him and just lash him on the floor. And then whilst I was doing that, without thinking, he just went straight head first, headbutted me, and then I just lost it. I didn't know where I was. I started to see that stars all over, and
got knocked out.
Yeah.
So recapping, this was the anger was a constant issue to you,
Yeah.
right? And it went to this point where you had this fight in school,
Yeah.
which was not even about you at first. You went to
Yes.
defend someone else
yeah.
that had nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And because of that, you got into this fight. The guy offended, your mom, right?
Yeah.
And he hurt you, right?
Yeah.
And what was the outcome of that fight?
I was hospitalized for about 2 days.
What about 2 days?
Yeah, so I was literally unconscious, and then they had to call ambulance. Ambulance came, tried to wake me up and stuff, and then next thing you know, I found myself in hospital, and they kept me overnight. So they wanted to do some more tests and stuff because I was bleeding internally, because of the headbutt was really severe. So they wanted to do more tests overnight and stuff. So they decided to keep me in for a few days in hospital.
So it was something serious, right?
Yes, yeah.
It really hurt you.
Yeah.
Spent 2 days in the hospital.
Yeah.
Had to spend money on medication
Yeah.
or something like that. But in the moment that you got angry, you didn't think about it,
No,
right?
not at all.
You just went. You see, we also have here Pastor Michael Bruden. Good evening, Pastor.
Good evening.
Pastor, you see how anger Sometimes, when a person acts in anger without thinking, anger just blinds us from the consequences. How many people are now probably, doing time in jail, in the hospital, or probably even dead because of a moment of anger? Maybe they got angry for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was all the time that it took to shoot somebody, to stab someone, to hurt somebody, to get hurt by someone, by something that they said. But the consequences were long-lasting, right?
Yeah.
It's a negative aspect
There's a
of
saying,
anger.
in the heat of the moment. So, in Moses' case, in the heat of the moment, he didn't like something that was said to him, and he got angry, and he didn't think. He didn't think of the consequence of what could happen. Could I hurt this person? Could he hurt me? Right? So what happened was he got hurt. He didn't think in that moment. And that's what anger does. Anger, it controls, it kind of takes over the person, and they do things that later on they regret.
Yes. So if you are watching us right now, and maybe you're dealing with this, maybe it's not you, the person that is being directly affected by anger, but indirectly because someone in your house just loses it. Your son, your daughter, sometimes you have to, pick them up in the hospital or police or something because they did something wild and you just don't know how to help. But the most important thing is to know that with direction, that with prayers, we believe in the power of prayer, with the right guidance, you can overcome this. There's a way to get help. That's why we are here. We are here to show you that you can overcome this. In a minute, Moses will explain how he overcame this, but you can talk to us right now. It's 020-7686-6300, or you can shoot us an email, interact with us. We are here to help you. So Moses, in a minute, you're going to tell us, because today I understand that anger
It's not an issue anymore.
is no longer an issue, right? It's not that you don't get angry, because everybody does at some point, but you learned how to control it, right? He's going to tell us how he was able to manage it in a minute. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ryan. I'm a Christian, and this is my story. Growing up, I never missed going to church. And when I was 12, I accepted Christ as my Savior. I was even baptized. It undoubtedly was a very important decision. It even affected how I lived in high school. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had fun on the weekends. I had a girlfriend, a couple, but I was a normal high school kid. College was one big blur, but I did make it to church out of obedience. And after school, I married a great girl, and she's been a great influence on me. Life's been good. I have a house, 3 kids. I couldn't ask for more. I mean, sure, I worry about my future. I mean, my marriage, it could be better, and I need to spend more time with my kids, but things will be all right. I have my faith. You may not hear me talk about it a lot, but it's just because it's personal. But don't worry for me. My Jesus is real.
The UCKG Helpline Call Centre is open 24 hours a day, every day of the week, all year round. If you need help due to a serious problem you may be going through, if you feel that you have nowhere to turn to and desperately need someone to lend a listening ear, then we can help you. It doesn't matter who you are or what you have done, your religion or race, your call will be answered by someone who genuinely cares about you and has your best interests at heart. We also arrange home visits for the housebound and hospital visits for anyone in great need of kindly human contact. Whether it is simply information you want or desperately need someone to talk to, we're here for you on 0207 686 6000.
So we are back with Finding Answers, and we just received an email from a viewer. Victoria, could you read for us?
Absolutely. So this is from Mariana. She says, "Hello, Pastor. I'm writing to say that yesterday's program helped me a lot. When I'm afraid, my heart locks within me. But after the prayer yesterday, the fear was gone. And today I just feel love. Thank you all for the wonderful program. God bless."
Wonderful, Mariana. That's what we are here for. That's the whole purpose of this TV program, is to help those who are struggling with difficult issues to find answers, to find solutions. By the way, also, if you're watching us right now, we are going to pray for you in the end of the program. You can even prepare, as we have here a couple glasses of water, you can prepare yours, put it next to your TV or your computer, and we're going to pray for you in a couple minutes. But now, back to Moses. So Moses, how did your story begin to change? What did you do that started to change this issue into a victory?
The first thing that I did was accept an invitation from my mum to come to the church, because she's been coming to the church, but I never liked coming to the church. So she invited me for me to come. She said, "Look, if you come, you're going to receive help for you to be able to overcome whatever it is that you're going through." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna give it a try." I came. It was on a Sunday morning, and it was different. It was totally different. It's like, it's not the usual church meetings that you go for. When I came, I left different. I left energized, and then one of the workers there spoke to me, and then they invited me for me to do something called a chain of prayer, for me to which is a 7 weeks course that you do, targeting one particular problem that you want to see change. And then done the 7 weeks, and I started coming for the Wednesdays and the Fridays. The Fridays helped me a lot, and the Wednesdays as well. The Wednesdays helped me for me to be able to express myself to God, to say to Him, "Look, I need help. I know that I won't be able to do it by myself. I tried many things for me to be able to control this, but I can't do it. So I need your help now for you to step in and help me, for me to be able to overcome the situation." And which He did. He gave me the strength for me to be able to control the anger. Whilst before that wasn't the case. Before I'll get angry, and it was hard for me to control that anger. And one thing I also forgot to mention is that before coming to the church, when I would get angry, there was an incident that happened as well in the house. I was in the house with one of my friends, one of my closest friends, and then he'd done something to me that I didn't like. We were just speaking, and the argument broke out, and then he pushed me. And I said to him, why'd you do that? And then he said to me, "Oh, you think you're getting too big for yourself?" And then I was so angry that it was on the second floor of the house, and then he was standing next to the window, and the window was open. All that was running through my head was just kick him through that window and just finish with him. But my mum came into the room, luckily, and then situation just changed. That obviously we calmed things down, spoke about it, and then that was it. But coming to the church, like I said, Wednesday meetings helped me. The messages that we had, it was like extra energy, extra strength that I needed for me to be able to control the anger and stuff. And a good example of of me knowing that I was able to have control over the anger through the meeting on Wednesdays and Fridays was there was a situation that happened on the bus. It was a rainy day, and I had a new pair of trainers, white ones, new pair of Air Forces, and it was rainy, it was muddy. Got on the bus and the upstairs was full, so I just thought, okay, it's just a few stops, let me just stand by the stairs. And I stood by the stairs, and then there was a guy that came up. He was rushing up, and he just went, my new pair of trainers, white ones as well.
Something that before would set you off immediately, right?
Yeah.
How did you respond to that?
I looked at my trainers and I looked at the guy and I just smiled.
Yes.
And then I just let him go, because I was thinking to myself, if that was before, I would have dragged him down that bus.
So you said to yourself, who is this guy now?
Yeah.
I don't even recognize myself,
Exactly
right?
that, yeah.
You see, Pastor, he said he came to the church and he found it different. What I believe what he means in, sometimes people associate church with something religious. But our idea is not to pass a religion, but to pass on to people a down-to-earth teaching plus powerful prayers that work.
Yeah.
We believe that prayer is a way to connect with God, right? And when we connect with God, there has to be results.
Yeah.
There's an aspect to anger that is spiritual, right? There are negative forces that work against us. And if we don't know how to, stop their work, then we are going to be like he was, frustrated, trying here, trying this, trying that, and not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So the first and most important thing, one of the guidance and the prayer is to learn how to stop the work of these forces.
Moses said that the anger that he had was like he received energy. And that's what anger is. It's an energy. If it's not controlled, if it's not tamed, it can get out of hand.
Right.
So what he learned, he found a church, he went there, and he heard things that were down to earth, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Simple, straight to the point, something that he could identify with and practice it. And that's what faith is. If you want to connect with God, you can't just, there's God, here's me, I pray, and then that's it. You've got to know how to do it in the right way. And so that's what he did. He learned that this energy, this thing that I have, it's controlling me. And I need to defeat this thing. I need to channel it in a certain way.
Right.
And so through the strong prayers, he learned how to do that.
Right.
And this is the result today.
Yes, and if someone like him could change, you can also change. You can also get help. You can also give us a call if you want to speak to us right now, or if you just want to speak to someone. Maybe your problem, your issue is not anger. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's an addiction. You also had a struggle with addictions,
Yes.
you said, right?
Yeah.
And you also overcame that problem. So just to finish everything, how is your life today? In short words.
My life today was completely different. I'm seeing, my life moving forward in the areas that I want it to be. My goals that I've set myself for this year, I'm already achieving them. One of the goals that I set for this year was for me to be a top salesman in my industry. And I was saying I was speaking to Pastor before the program that this month and last month, I ended the month really good. Ended up, being a top salesman last month and the month before as well. So that is really, really positive for me, because I like to set targets. I like to set myself goals, and it's a good feeling when you set yourself targets and you achieve them. It just gives you that extra motivation for you to keep going as well.
That's right.
Yeah. Also, beginning of the year, I bought myself a new car, which is good as well. Good feeling. Also, family's completely different, transformed now. There's peace in the house. There's no arguments. Whilst before there was a lot of arguments. My dad would blame my mum because of the way my life was turning out. He always used to say to her, "Oh, it's because of you that you're giving them too much freedom, this and this." But now there's peace in the house. We sit down, talk, have dinner together as a family. We have breakfast as well together as a family. There's that unity there in the family now, which is really, really good.
So family united.
Yes.
Prospering financially.
Yeah.
Achieving your goals and targets.
Yeah.
Control the anger.
Yeah.
How long have you been attending the church?
About 6 years now.
About 6 years. So these last 6 years, it's right to say that have been the most successful ones for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Certainly.
So very good. So we're going to go to a short break. But understand that what happened to him didn't happen because he was a special person, right? We are all humans. We all have our weaknesses. We all have anger at some point. But you know, you can channel your anger towards your problem. You can use the anger, especially if you're a very angry person. You know, there are many examples of people who got angry at something and they did something amazing. So instead of channeling your anger towards other people, or maybe towards yourself, or even towards God, we have met people that are angry at God, that won't resolve anything. It's just a waste of time. It leads to a pile of frustration that's not taking you anywhere. But when you learn how to channel your anger, to focus your anger towards your problem, you learn that you decide to do something, to fight back, then you can get real answers. That is our proposal. You can talk to us, and during this break, if you want to send us an email, give us a call, we are here to help. Let's go for a short break and be right back.
Click on to uckg.org for all the latest happenings at the UCKG Help Centre. It's dynamic, interesting and full of content that will add to your daily life. Keep up to date with all the latest info on events up and down the country at a UCKG closest to you. There's something for everyone and you're invited. Check out what we've done previously and update your calendar with what's coming up next. Ladies, especially for you, presenters and authors Nanda Becerra, Esther Becerra, Chris Cardoso and Viviane Freitas share with you advice on becoming a better woman. Read their top tips on health, beauty, love and well-being, all aimed at helping you become the woman you were created to be. And if you're looking for food for the soul and personal development, then check out messages from world-renowned spiritual leader Bishop Macedo, as well as character-building blogs from Bishops Renato and Celso Jr. It's spiritual intelligence for your life. And for all you young guys and girls, why not check out our section dedicated to youth? Real talk, real advice, and a whole lot of fun. Catch cool clips of their shows and listen to the catchiest VYG record track. Want some inspiration? Watch our live transformational videos, recent programs, plus all the promos and coverage of some of our best shows and events.
Hello, very good evening to all of you. This is Finding Answers.
Finding us is easy. Wherever you are in the UK, find the UCKG nearest to you at a click of a button. uckg.org. All you need at your fingertips.
Welcome back, and Victoria is going to read for us now the mail of the day.
So this is from Annie. Annie says, how do I cope with my sister's constant irrational anger? She's constantly angry about everything that comes along. I cannot have a normal conversation with her anymore. It's like she looks every day for something to be angry about. And I mean every day. I'm suspecting it's some type of mental issue. She's making home feel like hell. How do I cope with her constant anger? I try not to respond, but then she's mad that I don't. I go ahead and take whatever blame there is, but she just moves on to the other topics to be angry about. Please help.
Well, I would say in that case, look, what's her name?
Annie.
Annie. Annie, your sister, you know, despite being angry, I believe, it sounds as though she was never like that before. Now, if she's acting in this way, it's because there's a root. There's something there that is making her feel angry. And, you know, you're her sister. Maybe you don't know. I'm assuming you're very close to one another. But it could be something that's happened in her past. It could be something that happened with, if she has a husband, a partner, children, something at work that happened. There's a root to why she's behaving that way. So, yes, it's good that you are concerned about her, but, you know, why don't you try to speak with her in the time that is right and try to find out why she's feeling this way, why she's behaving the way she is, because I don't believe it's just you that she's behaving that way towards. It's probably other people as well. It could be you, but then if you go to the source of it, try to sit down and talk with her, I'm sure you'll find the root of the problem. But anyway, you know, we're going to be praying at the end of the program for you and your sister and anyone else who also has anger issues.
And we understand it's a difficult situation, right? Because actually it's very difficult. Actually, we cannot change people. Now, hard as we may try, sometimes the more that we try to advise or the more effort we make to try to change someone, the worse it gets. Yeah. The more, the thicker the barrier is built.
Especially as a sister, right? You've got that emotional tie with your sister. And of course you want to help her as much as you can. But, you know, some things you try to do, as you said, it can get even worse. So that's why we advise people, if you can't solve the problem on your own, then involve prayer and God in the equation.
We believe in the power of prayer. In situations like this, prayer is extremely important because there are certain things that we cannot show people, but through faith, God can. If we ask God to open the eyes of the person, to help the person see that they need help, to humble the person, there can be a change. Speaking about that, we have a video to show right now. It's something that has to do with finding the roots of your problem, as Pastor Mark was talking about, which is something extremely important, and unfortunately, not everyone is doing that. But let's watch this and we'll be right back.
I'm right. You're wrong.
More than 1 in 10 say they have trouble controlling their anger.
Learn how to drive. Shut up.
77% of students are being bullied, whether physically, mentally, verbally.
Grow up. Knock it off. Shut up.
About 4 million women experience a serious assault by a partner during a 12-month period.
Who do you think you are? Get out.
Roughly 1 million workers are injured each year in violent attacks by co-workers.
This is your fault. This is
Rage in the home.
This is your fault.
Rage in the office. Rage in the roadway.
Don't. Shut up.
Listen. Please. It would appear we love anger. It's in our movies, our music, our books, our sports, almost everywhere throughout our culture. 64% strongly agree that people in general are getting angrier. 84% strongly agree that people should seek help for anger issues, yet 58% said they wouldn't know where to get help. It may surprise you to know that most of the time we do not choose to be angry. But in a flash, we can be very angry. Why? Human beings are an aggressive species. As children, we would have been well advised to replace common phrases such as,
if someone hits you, hit them back.
And
don't get mad, get even.
With
turn the other cheek.
Or
once you calm down, express your anger.
Since childhood, we have reacted to challenges in our personalities, often due to low self-esteem. Anger arises from frustration, hurt, disappointment, or annoyance. We become angry when we're in situations we see as unpleasant or unfair, or when we believe we are right and the other person is wrong, which often leads to greater conflict.
Since anger is usually not a planned action, but more of a knee-jerk response, perhaps our anger is covering up the true feelings and needs we have inside. Please think about these questions. Do you see different points of view as a threat or a personal challenge to you? Do you have a difficult time compromising? Do you feel superior or inferior to others? By exploring our feelings, we will learn we could be angry for what we experienced or didn't receive as a child. We could be angry when we see something in others that we don't like in ourselves. So whether it is an unresolved situation from the past or an ongoing conflict with our self-esteem, we must explore the origins of our anger to prevent it from becoming our default way of being and adversely affect our health.
So in about 5 minutes, we are going to be praying on your behalf. But before we do that, Pastor Michael, serious problems always have a root, right? Serious issues have a root. Sometimes people are dealing, it's like a tree. The tree has the leaves, right? The branches, the trunk, the root. Mm-hmm. When the leaves are sick, or the tree, or any part, we know that the problem is coming from the root, right? We have to deal with the root. Mm-hmm. Or if you cut off the root of the tree, the entire tree dies. So sometimes people are dealing with the problems, we could say, at the leaves level, trying to deal with situations, getting rid of a leaf today, tomorrow it will grow back. However, if we find the root of the problem, we can actually eliminate, as we say, right? Cut it by the root. Get rid of it definitely.
Yeah.
And that's something that people can get guidance, right? When they come to the church.
What does that mean in a practical sense? We've just given an example of the tree with the root. What does that mean for you? Maybe you're stuck in life now. You know, you've got problems in life now, problems in your family, problems with relationships, problems with yourself, low self-esteem, and you don't know what to do. And you've tried to snip away at the leaves. What does that mean? You've gone on courses. You've gone maybe on anger management courses, maybe you've done things. I'm going to go on holiday and escape for 2-3 weeks to forget my problems. But what are you doing? You're just snipping away at the leaves. Yes. You're not dealing with the problem at the root, the source of the problem. And that's what we will be teaching people. We're telling you to get dirty. And it's hard to go back in your past.
Yes,
it's hard to go back to your past and find what's there. Maybe it was words, hurtful words that your parents always told you. Maybe you were abused in some shape or form, and that shapes the way you are now. Your life is, if I can use this word, rotten today. You know, it's unhealthy. You are not moving. You're not the person that you want to be. You haven't reached your full potential because of things that happened in your past. So to get to the root of the problem means going back and not literally, but getting dirty. Yeah. And it's painful. Yeah. It can be painful. It can be hard. But if you want to be successful in life, that's what you need to do. Go to the root.
Yeah, it pays. Having faith alone is not enough. Because many people watching us can say, but I have faith. I believe in God, but I'm not seeing answers. So we're talking about how to get a solution. Mm-hmm. We have to find the root. As you said, it takes hard work. You know, the Japanese say that if you ask 5 whys,
why did this happen?
Why this? Because of that. But why? You can get to the root of any problem. Yeah. That's arguable, but the concept is right. Because every time we ask the why of something, we are getting closer to the root. It's like getting a shovel, right? And digging, towards the root. As you said, it's something, some of them are hard, very touchy subjects, very, very difficult to admit. But when people, if you believe you need help with this, you can call us still. And we are going to give you some guidance. We're going to give you some advice. There are people standing by to take your call right now. 020-7686-6300. We are coming to the moment of the prayer. Pastor Michael will do the prayer tonight.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer.
If you would like a prayer concerning your spiritual well-being, send your name and prayer request to prayer@findinganswers.tv.
My God and my Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we join our faith together with all the viewers who can identify with this subject tonight, the subject of anger. And maybe this person's anger has led them into trouble. Just like tonight's guest, Moses. His anger led him into fights, actually led him into hospital. And maybe this anger issue this person is facing, they have tried to mask it. They wanted a solution, but they tried everything. They did everything, maybe even spent money to solve that problem. But they didn't get to the root of it. They still have that anger issue. Maybe this person, they have bandages around their hands where they've hit walls. They've hit members of their own family, loved ones. And yet, inside there is still that void. They don't know what to do anymore. Maybe this person's masked up this anger by going away, trying to escape from their problems, but they haven't dealt with the root of it. My God, I pray for each viewer now who, as they join us in this prayer, they are crying because they know that they've hurt family members. They know that they've hurt friends, colleagues with their words, and they don't know how to control it. So God, I pray that this water will be an instrument now, that when they will drink this water, you will help them remove that anger, that bitterness, frustration, whatever's causing this person to lose their temper uncontrollably. Give them that inner strength, my God, that willpower to control themselves. And instead of using this anger for their detriment, channel that anger, channel that energy for good. So I pray, my God, that whatever anger they're going through now, my Lord, when they'll drink this water, let everything be cleansed, be removed from within, in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Drink this water now and be cleansed. May your anger be removed from you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
So we believe that you are empowered. Yes, empowered. And you can still talk to us. Our lines are still open. And we hope to have helped you, to have inspired you. And it was a pleasure being with you tonight. Thanks, Pastor Michael.
Anytime.
Thanks, Victoria. Thanks, Moses. And have a good night. Tomorrow we'll be here.